The Raptors are officially back. The first game of the regular season, shortened regular season with about 8 games left in this COVID pandemic. The Raptors played against their first test, the Los Angeles Lakers, and they are no slouch. They just beat the LA Clippers, who are missing a couple guys, but they're still pretty good. Paul George was playing, Kawhi Leonard was playing, and Doc Rivers and everybody had most of their guys except Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. But it's still a tough team, and the Lakers took care of business there. And now they face against the reigning champs, who everybody writes off. But the Raptors came out, and they were prepared. And this is what it's all about. The Raptors won 107-92, a big score, but you know what? Honestly, it wasn't that big of a margin. It was pretty close. It was about 80-80 in that fourth quarter, and it was getting quite tight. But Kyle Lowry led the team, willed his team to the win, hit big shots, was making huge plays on defensive end, charges, strips, and was telling people everywhere where to be and what to run, and he was just a leader. And when people talk about Kyle Lowry, they're like, he might make the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, because he's similar to what Chauncey Billups was for that Detroit Pistons team. If some of you younger viewers don't know, Chauncey Billups was the starting point guard for the 2004 Detroit Pistons championship team that took care of business against the Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal Lakers, and he was a champion as well. But Lowry plays exactly like him. He's poised. He's hard-nosed, and he's tough. He got knocked out multiple times, some big hits in this game. But you know what? It was a physical game, and the Raptors won it. And it was led by Kyle Lowry with 33 points, 14 career-high rebounds, and 6 assists. He was doing it all. But let me break it down, guys, and here are my key points. First off, the Raptors' defense was great, and their main motive was everybody else will beat us, as they double-teamed Anthony Davis whenever he had the ball and made sure when LeBron James put the ball on the ground, everybody doubled and were coming at him in different directions, mixing it up so that they couldn't really adjust like immediately, and they had to keep guessing on where the Raptors' second man was coming from. And Anthony Davis, for the most part, was quiet until the Raptors started following him like crazy and got his free throws up, and then he got a little bit of rhythm and even hit a 3, I believe. But otherwise, he was pretty much locked down. After having 34 points in the first game, he had only 14 points. He only took 7 shots. Really limited him to a low-scoring game. And LeBron James hasn't had a strong start in this COVID regular season. And this is the second game where he didn't look the greatest from what you expect of LeBron James. But he's still good enough to keep them in the game. But OG Anunoby and the team did a great job of just limiting all his attacks and made sure he took some contested jumpers instead. And it was a great job of the team in general. Second, of course, Kyle Lowry, MVP of this game. Leadership, poise, big shot making, and just great defense and charges drawn all game long. Kyle Lowry, the king of drawing charges, and he played like a champ tonight. Led the team well tonight. And then my third reason, Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse was mixing and matching lineups all game long. Made sure OG Anunoby matched LeBron James minutes whenever they were on the court together. And then he just mixed some lineups in with Serge Ibaka and Norman Powell coming off the bench, and Terrence Davis as well. Davis, I wasn't too impressed by. Wasn't really looking to score like he was in the regular season, like shooting that 3 with confidence. He didn't really play with that energy that you expect, that spark that you need. And Norman Powell struggled a little bit in the first half, but in the second half he got some good drives going and kept the Raptors afloat until the starters got back in. Ibaka, they really keyed in on that Serge Ibaka, Kyle Lowry pick and roll, and he didn't really have many of those looks all game long, and he struggled scoring the basketball. Marcus Gasol, passive. Siakam got to a strong start, but cooled off later on, started taking like some tough threes and some rush shots. Didn't really look the best, but he played well when the Raptors needed it. Great defensively though. Gotta hand it to him. He was matched up with Anthony Davis, and he did a great job there. But the main guy, Kyle Lowry, but the second guy, the Robin to Kyle Lowry's Batman, OG Anunoby, just a huge game. 23 points. After LeBron James made 2 back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter, OG Anunoby hits 2 corner threes back-to-back. Huge moment. And he had a great spin move in that first quarter where the Raptors went up by 13. And honestly, he's playing great. It's great to see him, get those starting minutes and looking healthy and spry, because he got injured in the regular season right before COVID hit, and now he's back to being 100% healthy. And Van Vliet struggled a little bit, but then hit some big shots, made some great tough layups when the Raptors really needed some offense. He played well as well. He starts alongside with Lowry in the starting lineup now. Norman's on the bench with OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam and Marcus on the starting lineup. Overall, solid game for the Raptors. You can see there's a little bit of rust because in that second quarter, the Raptors were kind of like lackadaisical on offense. Didn't really have that energy, that spark that you need. But otherwise, this team had a great showing, and against a team that already had a game under its wing, they already game ready. The Raptors did a great job of adjusting, and they looked great. Didn't slow down until that second quarter, but in the third quarter and fourth quarter, the Raptors dominated after that first half and won the half by a big margin. They won the half by 18 points. That just shows how dominant they were in the second half. Just a couple quick notes about the game. For those of you guys who haven't seen the game, it was a tough defensive game. Both teams really trying to find their rhythm. The Raptors held the Lakers to their worst shooting performance of the season. Just great defense, and they held them to 92 points. And the Lakers are one of the top offenses in the NBA. Alex Caruso and Kyle Kuzma are playing exceptionally well for the Lakers, who are pretty much down without any point guards, as they're playing Kentavious and Danny Green at the 2 guard spots to start the game. Raptors held Danny Green to 0 for 7 from the field, so Raptors really gave it back to Danny Green, the champion that was with us last year. But overall, the Raptors played solid. Van Vliet with 11 assists. He really passed the ball well. And got to hand it to the Raptors defense. LeBron James and Anthony Davis combined for over 50 points in their first game. In this game, they only scored 34 points, which Anthony Davis had by himself in that first game. So it really shows what that Raptors defense is really doing. And the Raptors won almost every single statistical category today. Just looking at the numbers, 35 for 84 from the field. That's 42% compared to the Lakers' 35%. 14 threes on 41% shooting from deep. Lakers 10 for 40, 25% from 3. And then the Raptors from the line 88% compared to the Lakers 73%. And the Raptors out-rebounded the Lakers, which is a big factor because the Lakers have JaVale McGee, they got Dwight Howard, they got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and the Raptors still out-rebounded them 51-40. That includes Kyle Lowry's 14 big boards, jumping on the defensive glass. This is huge because the Raptors are a team that struggles with defensive rebounding in the regular season, and they really showed their team rebounding and their focus on the defensive glass today as the Raptors won that rebounding battle. This was huge because the Raptors really needed it to win this game. As the Raptors get their first win of the COVID regular season, hopefully they could maybe keep that second seed, because getting that first seed is going to be near impossible because the Bucks have to lose every game pretty much. The Raptors had to win every game, and the Raptors have a tough schedule, so it's going to be a tough getting that first seed. But let's focus on keeping that second seed away from the Boston Celtics, who are winning games. And you know what? You just got to keep grinding it, guys. And you know what? This team can really pull it off. I really believe so. And with this COVID regular season, the Raptors got to stay safe, make sure everybody's quarantined. But it's great to be back. Raptors Wrap-Up is back, and I'm glad to be back. I know tons of you guys have been messaging saying, when are you going to make a post? And I know I haven't made any posts about the preseason because I'm waiting for this. And it's been great. Great to see some basketball back. And you know what? It's some tough times, and the NBA season definitely brings a little lighter mood. But everybody out there, stay safe, stay healthy, and that's the most important thing. But glad to see the NBA back. Until next time, guys. Peace.